The big questions this big weekend. Liverpool head to Crystal Palace. Which of the Premier League's lost to unbeaten epic teams will retain their records after this clash o' clashes? Does the winner get to keep Mark Gahey? 6 games in. Are Arsenal already in must-win territory? They head to Newcastle, where they've lost their last 2 in the league. Are Manchester United back? Was United's 10-man mud bath outwitting of self-emoliating Chelsea just a toupee, like I'm beginning to believe that fan's haircut is? And will this weekend be one of the greatest of the year? Well, yes, it will, because Everton don't play till Monday and they can't take a giant dump on all my good vibes. This is the Men in Blazers Big Weekend Preview, presented by Prize Picks, the show that takes your best questions and revels in answering them. Let's do it!
Hi, Rog. This is Samuel from Brooklyn, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on Arteta's labels of starters and finishers this season. And with Arsenal dealing with so many injury issues to start the year, going to St. James this weekend, can starters become finishers and can finishers become starters? Cheers.
Samuel, what a time it is to be alive for you Gooners. It is moment of truth time in many ways. There's a 5-point gap making tearing sounds of anguish. It exists between Liverpool and Arsenal already. And the question is it a sign that the club should be worried? Or is it more just a matter of deception? Arsenal have had such a brutal fixture list to start the season that they're kind of akin to a 400-metre runner losing the race in the first 10 seconds, but only because of the staggered start. Everyone chill out, will you? I'll answer that question in a moment, but first I want to thank you for your beautiful video. You're a gorgeous human being, and let me say, come and be featured on our show next week. Send us a video with your biggest, boldest question about the weekend games ahead. There's a patch for the best one. Use a link in the description below. And if you don't want your beautiful face on YouTube, why not? Question 1 and question 2. Feel free to call 646 450 9472 and just leave us a voicemail. That wasn't really a question, was it? But let's do it and get amped for the weekend ahead together. To your question, Samuel, full disclosure, you're asking me this question after I spent yesterday afternoon filming with Bukayo Saka in a Nando's in northwest London. The half chicken, medium spice and peri salted chips, I've got to say, were elite. But Bukayo, chopped even that. We shot a film which is coming out in a couple of weeks' time in which we talked about his journey, his mental approach to the game and his faith, amongst other things. He's a remarkable human being. He's really intelligent, really emotionally, really thoughtful, and somehow, and this is the most remarkable part, still so unbelievably humble. And I'm telling you this mostly because I think his quiet confidence rubbed off on me, because I left as an Arsenal believer. I really am. And I think this game, Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, USA, is going to be really quite a complex challenge for Mikel Arteta. It's going to be fascinating to see how he plays it. As I said up top, Jenna's lost his last couple of games away at St. James's Park. One more also in a cup game. So he will be feeling, a number of things on many, many levels. I mean, Toon, number 1, for all their bluntness, haven't scored in the league since one Alexander Isak defected, but they are so defensively robust. 4 clean sheets in 5 league games this season. So this is going to be a gut check of tactics, of squad depth, of confidence, of assertiveness, of belief. And I think news that Noni Madueke is out until November. So bloody cruel, a knee injury. He has been sparkling. He's really dented Arsenal fans' sense of self, or at least tighten those sphincters a little bit. But Bukayo's back. Ødegaard should be available. And you got Eberechi Eze scoring his first Arsenal goal. Deliciously midweek.
Oh, lovely touch. Ezra's in. What a finish. What a magnificent goal by Arsenal. Eze scores it.
Expect his second to follow this weekend. I really, really do. It's games like this that Ebbs was brought in to Arsenal to win. Ultimately, this game's going to be decided by what is going on in the couple of inches of beautiful, beautiful headspace between the Arteta ears, just below, just south of the beautiful, beautiful Arteta hair bonnet. And here's why it's fascinating, because Arteta was singled out. Arteta was lambasted for being too cautious in that loss against Liverpool. An accusation that was repeated as his team scored late last week to glean a point against a surreal Manchester City, the Guardiola pop bus Manchester City. And Arteta was really stung by the criticism he received in the wake. Let's take a listen when he was asked about it this week.
I cannot spend my energy of that. What is the intention? What is the purpose of that? Because I had a lot of things using my phone. They could not believe what we did to Manchester City. And people that are coaches, managers, CEOs, presidents, so proud. And I look at the players and the people around. So I'm much more filled and fueled with that.
Arteta is so maligned, I think, often incredibly unfairly. And I think he's right here. That when you train for a game against Manchester City, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, that Manchester City, of all the scenarios you could ever have imagined, essentially the Pep Guardiola Roper would have been as great a surprise for Mikel Arteta as it was for George Foreman when he prepared for the Muhammad Ali fight to do the same. But words hurt. They really, really do. Criticism stings. It doesn't matter who you are. And whether Arteta will hold the scars of that criticism, carry it front of mind as he unleashes his finishers and his starters at St James's Park. It's going to be a fascinating psychological test to witness, because Toon love nothing more than a team that goes at them. They are trained to press. Anthony Gordon will be back, leading the line, alone ready to pounce on mistakes at speed and counter any team who, kind of in military terms, overextend their supply lines. So beware. Having said that, I do think Arsenal are going to do it. It does feel like there could be a stalemate and almost an Arsenal half-time torment. But second half, I do taste, I do smell a late Eze goal of wonder. I see Arsenal joy. And talking of Arsenal joy, this chant for 15-year-old wonder Max Dowman, it's got to be top 3 of the season, right?
Goal in the morning! He's got school in the morning! School in the morning!
By the way, Arsenal fans, if you think your stress levels are high this weekend, then just spare a thought for a man who's really going through it. West Ham's manager Graham Potter. He has become such a target for his own fans' anger that they're venting by essentially doing arts and crafts. It's been one of the most remarkable stories of the week. Seeing, yes, West Ham fans, grown men and women, enjoy themselves or get some kind of psychic release by superimposing their manager's face on assorted celebrities, let's say models, I think the word's well-endowed models, and historical figures of note. Graham Potter was actually asked about this incredible feat this morning. He was asked, are you aware, essentially, you have become relegated to a meme? And Graham Potter said this.
Yeah, well, it made my 15-year-old son laugh a lot. So, as I said, you have to accept what comes with it, which is part of criticism. It's at times ridicule, but that's just the environment we're in, and it is what it is.
Meme managers, it's why we watch. Next question.
Hey Raj, this is Hayden, second time caller, long time listener, Crystal Palace supporter from Montreal. If any other Men in Blazers GFOPs out there are in Montreal, hit me up on the Discord. So, story and a question. I've been a Crystal Palace supporter my whole life since my family had a family reunion in London when I was 8. My wife is a Liverpool supporter, and we've had our family derby over the years. This weekend, we are flying to London for our 10-year anniversary together. Perfect record in our relationship. Love her to death. Palace and Liverpool, the only 2 perfect records in the Premier League left. What's the result going to be? Am I going to be consoling my partner, or will she be consoling me? Thanks to you all. Your all incredible courage.
Hayden! Hello to you and all Montrealers and all beautiful, beautiful Canadian listeners. Now remember, join us on the Men in Blazers Discord channel during all the Premier League action this weekend. I'll be in there breaking it down with so many like-minded souls who listen to this show, because as we all know, football's better with friends. The link is in the show notes. Come and join us now. Your question makes me ache. First of all, for a bagel from Saint Viateur. Hope I said that right. Hello to all Montreals. What a city. God, I'd love to be there right now. By the way, can I just say up top, Hayden, I love your relationship, a house divided with your wife. Let me answer your second question first then. Your question was, will my wife be controlling me? And I just say, not really for me to say, but if you have to ask, I think the answer is already known, and it's a hearty yes. But man, I can't wait for this game, Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Premier League, as I said up top, their last 2 unbeaten sides clash. How's that feel, Palace fans? It's amazing. And yes, Liverpool, perfect on paper, but really imperfect in real life. We'll talk about that in a second. But I want to talk about Palace first. They're on a club record, 17-game all competitions run, undefeated. It's absolutely beautiful. And they're not a club that's run like your B clubs. Your Brightons, your Brentfords, your Bournemouths with like a real sense of strategy. I mean, we all saw the Gahey. Is he going? No. The fitness club thing, the manager rumoured to have threatened. It's not run in that way. But to see this team have so many players prized away from it in their prime and just keep on going, it's beautiful. It is utterly beautiful. Savour every single second and tap into, let's say, the deep history. As a club of being Liverpool's Achilles heel in moments akin to adamantium for Wolverine. And so Arne Slot is rolling in after a week of some challenge, some self-inflicted challenges like Hugo Ekitike just deciding that it was a good idea to whip off his jersey and receive a second yellow card after scoring 86-minute. 86-minute yawn, so done. Winner midweek. It was a choice. It comes with a ban. We're in the Isaac era now, Liverpool fans, for the next couple of weeks. And Arne Slot said this post-game.
Your question to the last minutes of the game, where Hugo got a second yellow card. That is, what were your 2 words? That was needless, yes, and?
Did you think it was a bit stupid?
And it was stupid, yeah, it was. But it's always the best to control your emotions. And if you cannot control your emotions, do it a way that it doesn't lead to a yellow card. So I think I said when I got my red card against Everton, that's always stupid, because it is you can show your emotions, but if it leads to a yellow or red card, then it's stupid.
I love a straight-talking Dutchman. In more agonising news for Liverpool Football Club, this was hard to watch. Freshly arrived, coveted, already revered young Italian centre-back Giovanni Leone tore his ACL in a serious way. You could tell by the way Slot talked about that. He was asked how long he'll be out. He said around a year. We wish young Leone, so cruel at that age to be out when you have this moment to prove yourself. I can't imagine psychologically what he's going through. We wish him so well. And so into this game, which is going to be tight. That's the one thing we know. Crystal Palace have conceded just 2 goals in 5 games with that captain, Mark Gahey. The man who came within a fitness class of actually signing for Liverpool on transfer deadline day has been an imperious role. What a performance by him to focus, refocus, recommit, even though he's very clear that he doesn't want to be there. Playing alongside Birmingham, Alabama's Chris Richards. What a beautiful human being. Not just a beautiful human being, but elevating his status amongst Premier League's coveted centre-backs with every dominant performance, every joyous performance. The combination of the two is why I love that man. And so we'll see which record will be intact at the final whistle. Here's what I'm really looking forward to, though, to be candid. It's the possibility of Mark Gahey scoring. Dude has the chance to do the funniest thing and reveal to us, is there an unwritten rule over a player celebrating a goal scored against his future club? Would he do a non-celly? Do it, Gahey. Tell us, show us, find out if you really want to do funny things, if you really want to vent, if you really want to protest. Palace's quite last-minute decision not to sell you to the Reds by go and show them, score an own goal, and maybe tell us whether you celebrate netting against the team you psychologically had already left.
Not too far though. It's going to be a chance here. Oh, it's bent in. Bent in by Mark Gahey. Would you believe it?
Rogstradamus smells a late winner in this one, but not for Liverpool. Call an ambulance, but not for Crystal Palace. Watch out, corner flags, Mateta nets at the death. Palace 2-1. Yes, this is Rog quite callously trying to speak it into existence. Oh, next question, please.
Hey Rog, Jack Grimsey here. What's going on with Aston Villa, and when are we going to get back to winning ways? I know the end of the season was rough. We should have been in the Champions League, but we're not. Couldn't sign any players we wanted to earlier in the summer. Had some panic buys on deadline day. They're taking a while to get integrated. But yeah, when's Emery going to turn the ship around?
Jack, what a question. Aston Villa, one of the most fascinating and complex and intriguing questions of the season. I mean, it's an agony, honestly, for Villa fans. It's an agony that they become a cautionary tale for all those fans who dare or care to think about upward mobility for their clubs. Just 3 points, 1 goal from their opening 5 games, an unrecognisable force from seasons past. This is from a team who finished 4th and 6th in the last 2 campaigns. The good news though, Aston Villa fresh off their first win of the 2025-26 campaign with a 1-0 Europa League victory over Bologna, much needed, because they now lollop into a game Sunday against the quite stealthily good Fulham, 9 AM Eastern Time on USA Channel in a little bit of chaos. Last week, after his team's failure to beat 10 men Sunderland, Unai Emery, A, walked off the field before the game had ended, and then B, said this afterwards about his players.
We were lazy sometimes in defensively, lazy. For example, the goal we conceded, we were lazy.
Lazy players, essentially manager speak. It's not me, it's you, which is quite a stand for a coach to say this to the locker room he then has to lead. In a week in which his good friend and lifelong ally, the quite enigmatic Monchi, departed Aston Villa as their director of football operations, a move which is being frantically decoded by Villa Kremlinologists in kind of Game of Thrones precision and style. Villa this season, the short answer is, had the massive hit of failing to make the Champions League again. And then they had that bumbling transfer window. They failed to land a goalkeeper, totally fumbled Emi Martinez's departure, and they've been left with this squad now, which has the second oldest average starting 11 in the Premier League. How did we get here, Villa fans? Because I'm old enough to remember 2 seasons ago when Villa's Rise made their ownership of the Egyptian Nassef Sawari and Milwaukee Bucks. Wes Edens look like bloody visionaries, and now the players are left to point a finger at the profit and sustainability rulings that have, quote, hampered Villa by restricting their spending. But the honest truth is, Villa are in this crossroads moment, essentially because they went all in to grab the golden ring of Champions League football last season. They wanted to retain it. They made a bet. They brought in the vast wages of loanees Marco Asensio and Marcus Rashford, and it kind of amounted to a bag of nothing. And as a result, you've got to sell homegrown talent. Jacob Ramsey gone. CONCACAF Thunder's Leon Bailey loaned. And so Villa have kind of cut off both of their wings, that creative threat. All of that's gone. Thus spiking the gun that is Ollie Watkins, who's just had no service at all this season. There's almost no chance creation. So Villa essentially are in a who will pay the ferryman situation. They essentially gambled like Jason Bateman in Black Rabbit and lost. To lovelier memories, I'm here to cheer you up before the game at the weekend, Villa fans. Here's this beautiful video that's been doing the rounds this week. This is your mid-90s squad, bunch of good-looking lads all telling the world their favourite drinks. It's compelling viewing.
I only want to have the odd lager in my team, but I love tea. Drink tea for fun.
I like blackcurrant lemonade or lime and lemonade.
I can't really say I like alcohol because, to be honest, it makes me sick.
I hate Ribena, yes. No, I'm a bit partial to a nice pint of bitter and a bit later on a Bacardi and Coke.
At the moment, I'm into bottled lager.
Guinness, I like a drop of Guinness.
I mean, during the week, I just drink mostly water and stuff like that. But I enjoy a few beers at the weekend to unwind.
Back like Caleb Williams, it's more or less presented by Prize Picks, and that means Charlie Kipp jumping back in to give us his winners and occasionally losers. But we're for it all. What do you got for us this week, Kippo?
Raj, you got a Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson showcase. I got a Browns win over the Green Bay Packers. So I think we're all happy this week, baby. The picks, on the other hand, have been struggling. But we're going to turn it around right now by grabbing Alexander Isak more than 0.5 goals. Put your money where your mouth is. When Liverpool head to Selhurst Park on Saturday.
Liverpool and Palace meeting for what feels like the 87th time in the last 3 months. And with Hugo Ekitike missing out because of that red card for taking off the shirt, I do think Isak will be ready to capitalise on that long-awaited Premier League spotlight moment for Liverpool. I'm not sure it'll be enough to beat the Eagles. Listen to my show for more on that. But what else are you looking at?
We're going to Ellen Road, Raj, where an all-American clash between the Vegas Golden War Cherries and the Leeds 49ers is going to take place. Brendan Aronson should be on the pitch for Leeds, but we're looking at our man, your man, Raj, the captain, Tyler Adams, to record more than 1.5 tackles. Get in there.
I thought you were going to say more than 1.5 yellow cards, which I didn't like the sound of. Keep your shirt on, Tyle. You know I love Tyler Adams. He's been everywhere for Bournemouth this season, and they have been flying. Currently in third place. You know he'll not be the team's top scorer. You know he won't be the assist facilitator. A couple of hockey assists, but no one else enjoys getting stuck into attack, or quite like that proud son of Wappingers Falls.
I'm feeling good about this week, Raj. We may not have hit it big yet this season, but that only means one thing. We're using the phrase heard equally as often between hospital pregnancy wards and the craps pit at the Bellagio. We are due.
Godspeed, Kippo. By the way, you telling me sneaking in the Packers are going to lose? How about my weekend?
We do what we can, baby. The Browns, good for one of those a year, but feeling strong, feeling great. Come on, you Whites.
Come on, you Bears. One more question.
Raj, Jeff from Lincoln, Nebraska, Sunderland fan. Question for you. So I'm moving next week, and I'm wondering which English Premier League centerback duo I should hire to help with the move. Courage.
Jeff from the great state of Nebraska. I'm so happy for you. Moving house. Keep me in the loop, would you? Tell me how it moves. But your question's so elite. Send us your new postal so we can send you a housewarming gift of a coveted Men in Blazers patch. Send it to us at meninblazers@gmail.com and it will be on the way to you. Thank you for asking this question, because I think about this question all the time in my own life, to be honest. Which Premier League central defenders would make the best U-Haul driver / movers? Your question didn't specify. I was a tiny bit confused about the rules. Do I have to pick a duo together? Because if I did, there'd be one duo only. I would definitely go Sven Botman and Fabian Schär of Newcastle. I just think they're the duo who I would most trust to get my couch, which just seems a little bit too big for the elevator. They'd find a way to just jam it in. They would find a way like love finds a way, and I would trust them, even without moving insurance, which they don't have. I think individually, I'd go for this combo. Virgil van Dijk would be amazing. Calm under pressure, never backs down from a challenge, no box too big, smells incredible. Almost like hiring a scented candle to move boxes out of your apartment. Can you imagine just like, my new home smells amazing. What's it smell of? Verge. And then I'd partner him with Gabriel. Told you I've given this some thought. First up the stairs, last off the truck, giving you a shift, happy to shoulder the fridge like it's Haaland, and no drop boxes. This is actually turning into a Premier League version of College Hunks hauling junk. Look, I wish someone would hire Michael Keane, to be quite candid. For reals, no funny lines. I just think he'd be a really good mover. I think it might even be his happy place. I'm sure you've all got opinions on this really pressing football matter. Send us your notes to meninblazers@gmail.com if you want to add to this very important footballing debate. Or better still, send us your video questions for next week's show. The link is in the notes. We want these hard hitters. Send them in now, and producer Ben Cook will have a field day. That is it for today. I want to finish quickly by reminding you that our limited edition Breakfast Club merch is available. There's no better way to connect to us and to each other than with the merch which bonds us in our early morning weekend ecstasy. Honestly, same feeling reflected in our official Men in Blazers Breakfast Club collection. The tees, the hoodies, the hats, and the limited edition fine china mugs, even a teapot. It's my pride possession, to be candid. All of it elevates your football weekend mornings even higher as you watch the goals trickle in, scream so bloody loud you wake up the neighbour's dog, join the club, dress the part. Get it all now at the link in the show notes below. I also want to, with full heart, talk about how joyful this has been this week. A barrage of new shows from our network. 2 for the women's game. First of all, Mewis Squared, hosted by Sister Act, US Women's National Team great Sam and Christy Mewis. It's really the podcast equivalent of dialing into their weekly sister FaceTime call. And also, really proud of this, teaming up with the mighty Becky Sauerbrunn. I'm thrilled to have Becky, the legend, join us, give us a deeper look into the world of women's football. And to finish off, here's my great friend, former US men's national team international turned elite broadcaster, Hercules Gomez. Tell you about our other massive launch this week. It's our new platform, Vamos, designed to deliver authentic storytelling to that singularly passionate and enormous US Hispanic soccer community, all in the lead up to the 2026 World Cup right here on home soil. Follow each of their platforms, revel in its wonder, spread the word. Here's Herc, but this is Rog, sending you big, big love and courage. Take it away. Hercules Gomez.
I'm Hurt Gomez. Today I'm excited to launch a network with Men in Blazers, a network that bridges the gap between here and there, making everybody feel at home, en casa, as we cover our stories daily leading up to the 2026 World Cup right here on home soil, whether your home is the US, Mexico, or Canada. Discover why Vamos embodies our football, el equipo de todos, across CONCACAF and CONMEBOL. This is our game, a game that I spent my whole life and career playing and analyzing. I was there in Major League Soccer in the early days. I'm actually the first American to win a goal-scoring title in a foreign country. And I've actually had the privilege of representing the US in a World Cup, in a Copa America, and even in a Club World Cup. Our football, our region, our players. Follow now. Vamos!